Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. U.S. Federal Reserve's top financial regulator urges regulation for crypto. Guys, this is coming from Federal Reserve Board Vice Chair and Supervision Michael Barr. The top U.S. banking regulator of the Federal Reserve is urging Congress to pass legislation that would impose regulation on cryptocurrencies in the wake of the swift collapse of this week's FTX, a leading crypto exchange. And Michael Barr, here's what he said. Recent events in crypto have highlighted the risks to investors and consumers associated with new and novel asset classes and activities when not accompanied by a strong guardrail. Barr took the office in July and is scheduled to testify before Congress on Tuesday for the first time as vice chair. So Tuesday is today. This was posted just yesterday. He did not refer specifically to FTX in his remarks, yet his appearance come after FTX, the third largest cryptocurrency exchange, formerly led by Sam Bankman-Fried, filed for bankruptcy on Friday. Michael Barr goes on to say down here, some financial innovations offer opportunities, but as we have seen recently, many innovations also carry risks. Those include runs on deposits, collapsing asset values, misuse of customer funds, fraud, theft, manipulation, and money laundering. These risks, if not well controlled, can harm retail investors and cut against the goals of a safe and fair financial system. Now, the pièce de résistance about this. Michael Barr, very familiar with Ripple. He was once on their board of directors, so not only does he have a good grasp on cryptocurrencies, he does also understand that there are different types of cryptocurrencies. Cryptos that solve problems and cryptos, for all intents and purposes, are basically just speculative. So having Michael Barr at the top, I think eventually will really have a positive impact on cryptocurrencies like XRP, on companies like Ripple, and now he's urging for regulation in crypto in the United States. So some interesting news there. I also wanted to mention this from XRP Crypto Wolf. Apparently Ripple has also published proposed guidelines for UK regulators. Now I already thought XRP was fully compliant in the UK, and I don't think this is for XRP specifically. It's meant for wider market participation. Ripple, the company running a B2B blockchain payment system that uses XRP to facilitate cross-border transactions, has released a regulatory white paper for recommendations for UK policymakers and regulators drafting laws on crypto policy. Here's a quote, guys. In order to be able to operate most effectively here, in order to continue to grow our business, it matters what the regulatory framework looks like. This coming from Susan Friedman, head of public policy at Ripple. This is what she told The Block. And so we are investing in trying to ensure the best outcomes. The report's recommendations drew inspiration from other jurisdictions such as Dubai, Singapore, and the EU, which are further ahead in enforcing crypto regulation. Recommendations include distinguishing between different types of crypto. Of course, that is going to be really important for bespoke regulation, coordinating between the crypto industry and the public sector, and educating of lawmakers, of course. We appreciate that the UK may not be the first mover in all of these, and we think there's an advantage to that, Friedman said. There is value in seeing how different frameworks unfold and adopting best practices. So Ripple obviously also taking this opportunity, in the midst of the FTX scandal to draft this regulatory clarity policy framework up and, hand it over to the UK, a jurisdiction where XRP is already favored, where XRP is already being used. And if Ripple can have an influence in drafting public policy in the UK, that could spill out to other jurisdictions. So we are seeing it happen. And, this FTX thing is likely going to be a catalyst for, these lawmakers to really ramp it up. Let's not forget, this is not a story that just affects the United States. It affects the world. FTX was a global exchange that went bust. It was the second largest exchange in the world that went bust. So, governments around the world are watching this very closely and likely paying attention to how the U.S. is going to handle it, but also I'm sure it's going to get them thinking long and hard about cryptocurrency regulatory clarity in their particular country. Anyway, wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf for posting that. With regards to Ripple partners, though, Mike Manfield posted this. This has to do with Finastra. Finastra gears up to support UK banks with new payment architecture readiness. So more news coming out of the UK as the industry awaits an update on the UK's new payments architecture. Finastra is committed to the timely development and rollout of the functionality required to support readiness for its customers. Finastra's cloud-based payment technology, in collaboration with new and established banks and technology partners such as Microsoft, will support banks' full compliance with the infrastructure changes ahead of the 2024 deadline. They go on with some statistics down here, just explaining how faster payments and digital payments have increased over the last couple of years since the pandemic. But as a native ISO 20022 solution, Finastra's Fusion Payments to Go addresses such challenges, simplifying compliance efforts, enabling rapid MPA readiness, and unlocking new opportunities for the initial phase of immediate payment support and downstream when BACS is migrated. So they're pointing out all the positives. Obviously, the faster payments, a big part of this. This is a significant change for the UK payments market. This is a quote, and one of the biggest we've seen since 2010. And the introduction of faster payments is coming from Paul Tamala, head of industry and regulatory affairs at Finastra. He continues by saying, in particular, smaller organizations might struggle with the cost and capacity to make the move internally. The temptation to delay could also prove dangerous. Our leading position in the payment space and experience with similar schemes such as a new payments platform, or NPP, in Australia and FedNow in collaboration with the US Federal Reserve ensures that we are well placed to support banks with this essential digital transformation journey. So also noting FedNow. Let's not forget FedNow does have a partnership with Valente, and Valente is Ripple enabled. I'm not sure about this Australia connection, but nevertheless, we are seeing this particular Ripple partner gearing up with banks in the US to achieve a new, faster financial payment infrastructure. So I wanted to thank Mike for posting that. Wrath of Kahneman also noticed this coming out of the UAE. Okay, they just had a conference, Crypto Oasis 2022, and Ripple was apparently mentioned a few times. Not only that, they had a full page ad spread about Ripple. So I have the document up here. I will link it in the description for you guys if you're interested. But what Wrath of Kahneman notes here I think was really interesting. Ripple gets a full page in this document, central bank digital currency and the MENA region. The United Arab Emirates, of course, in the Middle East, and we know Ripple does have deep ties in the Middle East. So this to me just kind of solidifies that partnership and the importance, I think, of these types of partnerships in that region of the world. Over here, they say, the future of money in the MENA region is digital. These facts demonstrate that the MENA region is well positioned to lead the evolution of digital currencies backed by central banks because CBDCs can be managed, monitored, controlled, and redeemed as needed by central banks. The implementation of these digital assets merits pilots and testing to establish trust and reliability. Ripple is currently engaged in CBDC pilots, including the Republic of Palau and the Monetary Authority of Bhutan. So them just giving a couple of examples there of where central bank digital currency pilots running on the XRP ledger are already in place. They also talk here about banks like the Qatar National Bank and Al Ansari Exchange and how they're using RippleNet. So some good tidbits from this document. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. T-Hole Bedict XRP also bringing up this interesting news coming out of Africa. Okay, this has to do with MFS Africa. They are now, guys, a Ripple ODL customer, 320 million mobile wallets, 60% of all mobile wallets in sub-Saharan Africa, 18 months to go, and much more now. They just raised $200 million, one of the many incredibly massive Ripple opportunities created via the Interledger and their huge adoption. Ripple is expanding their payments offering to Africa amid US regulatory pressure. So despite the SEC situation, Ripple keeps expanding. This time, MFS Africa will use Ripple's on-demand liquidity product known as ODL, which relies on XRP to support cross-border payments such as remittances to help carry out transactions on their platform. And Brooks Entwistle, he also came out and made a comment. He told Financial News the move gives a significant additional leg to the geography of Ripple's payment network. So that was something that I noticed a few months ago. Ripple hadn't really been focused on Africa. There were a few companies that were leveraging RippleNet to, make just cross-border remittance companies, basically smaller companies making payments in Africa. But ODL, large value payments, really weren't being tapped in Africa specifically. But guys, it's looking as though we are now seeing it. There is no question that the uncertainty from the case has sped the company's push into new regions such as Africa. So there's that other part of it too. The fact that Ripple is kind of being suffocated in the United States, at least business-wise, is giving them the opportunity to really flourish in other parts of the world. Africa is definitely one of those untapped regions where they have seen opportunity, and they are now really moving fast to try to set up infrastructure in some of these African countries. So they're expanding their payments via MFS. The firm whose cryptocurrency XRP is the 7th largest in the world by market cap and is said to be going into partnership with payments firm MFS Africa, which operates across 35 countries in Africa. And so just another little tidbit here, MSF Africa will use Ripple's on-demand liquidity product known as ODL, which relies on XRP to support cross-border payments such as remittances to help carry out transactions on the platform. Matthew Lany actually shining some more light on this. MFX, a payment integrator and hub. Looks like they are in fact a liquidity hub specifically. T. Holbedic responding to this, they actually call themselves an interoperability hub, largest mobile money interoperability hub in Africa specifically. In addition to mobile remittances, API enables merchant payments, bulk payments, bank to wallet transfers, and other cross-border payments. So huge news here, guys, in Africa. I wanted to thank Matthew Lany and T. Holbedic just for posting that. Another Ripple banking partner, RBC, they are in the news, and they're the second one today to partner with Visa. So we know Ripple is also partnered with Visa through the Earthport connection. And so here's another connection. RBC, who's also a partner of Ripple, they're partnering with Visa to offer cardholders BNPL options. So buy now, pay later. I was talking about this the other day, how this is going to become a more popular option, I think, for people. You know, as people get poorer and poorer, more people are not going to be able to buy things, in full. And so they're going to buy now, pay later in installments and pay interest and get poorer and poorer. And so, I mean, the flip side to this is a business model, and it's going to be a more efficient business model once blockchain technology is in place. So this deal means that eligible RBC personal credit card holders can convert a qualifying purchase into smaller equal payments made over a defined period of time when shopping at participating merchants across Canada, both in-store and online. If you guys don't know, RBC is a Canadian bank. Launched in Canada last year, installments enabled by Visa means that shoppers can use their existing cards without submitting new loan applications, completing credit checks, or downloading a new app. So a new option for consumers. And guys, I think we're going to see this a lot more. Like I said, I was talking about it 2 weeks ago, I think it was, with BNPL, buy now, pay later. But it is interesting to see this connection that two Ripple-enabled companies are partnering together to make this happen. Payments are going to be a lot more efficient, streamlined on the XRP ledger, so we'll see how that develops. Wanted to thank Mike for posting that. And another one from T. Holbedic, XRP. Speaking of Visa, they're also working with Interledger, Monetary Authority of Singapore's Financial Technology and Innovation Grant for remittances. So this has to do with a company called ThitsaWorks. They were awarded the Monetary Authority of Singapore's Financial Sector Technology and Innovation Proof of Concept Grant for inclusive cross-border remittances. So ThitsaWorks, in partnership with Infitex, previously Modusbox, and Visa, they are working together to develop this. Mr. Steve Haley, Director of Marketing Development and Partnerships from the Mojaloop Foundation, which again, guys, is another Ripple partner, stated the Mojaloop Foundation is thrilled to join the cross-border remittance project. The potential of emerging economies to innovate and deploy efficient interoperable domestic and cross-border applications shapes our mission to enhance financial inclusion worldwide. We believe this project will significantly impact achieving the goal we share with our partner organizations. So a lot of these things are connected through a common partner, namely Ripple. Hopefully at some point, a lot of this will be running on DLT technology exclusively and, phasing out the legacy system, moving to complete DLT to complete XRP integration, which will then in fact drive more value to the XRP cryptocurrency. I mean, this is what we're all hoping for. And guys, I think we are almost there. Interesting to note this, okay? Fishy Business XRP posted this screen grab, and I believe this is from MIT's, or at least one of MIT's YouTube pages, where they posted the lectures here by Gary Gensler. Notice this, okay? Lecture, and look, just notice the numbers here, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then it skips from 17 to 19. So where the heck is lecture number 18? Conveniently deleted? Do they not want us to know something that they know that they want to keep secret? That could have been mentioned in lecture 18. Well, you gotta love the XRP community. You gotta love when people look into these types of things. Gary Gensler's MIT course skips a class, class 18. What was said in that class? I would love to know. This was even noticed by Eric Voorhees about a year ago. Okay, he posted this back in September of 21. Anyone know what session 18 was and why it's the only one missing? Can anyone find it on YouTube? So is he talking about the same session 18 that we are seeing here? When you click on this tweet that he retweeted out here, it looks like this page or this tweet has been deleted. So again, this was from over a year ago now, but it's looking as though he's talking about that same lecture. Well, D-Dizzle XR Pizzle here, he brought this forth. So these are Gary Gensler's lectures at MIT. And here's a clip of what looks apparently like Gary Gensler talking in this lecture. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but Gary Gensler does have a twin brother. Yeah, there's two of them. Robert N. Gensler is the vice president of T. Rowe Price Group, Inc., at TD Asset Management. And so on occasion, Gary Gensler did get his brother to speak at his lectures. So, I mean, upon first glance, this does look like Gary Gensler, but when you listen to this guy and you just take a look at his mannerisms, I think this is actually Robert Gensler. His voice is a little different too, but listen to what he says in this lost clip, allegedly from Class 18 of the MIT lectures.
Than you could ever imagine when it finally does. Okay.
Is that overnight flip of the switch?
All technology evolution, even this, and this is what worries me. Maybe I'm wrong because I'm bearish, actually, but maybe I'm wrong. So I'm going to give why I could do it. Maybe we're in that first stage where all hype is happening, because usually you have excitement, hype, disappointment, and then years later, the use case, the broad use case actually happens. Because right now, I really feel strongly we're in that first excitement, hype. I don't know whether the broad
Remember,
use
this
case
is like 2018.
It might. But what worries me about Bitcoin in particular, I'm not just a markets guy. Okay, that's all I am. I don't think much. I'm a practical guy, not a research guy. And in markets, it's like, okay, Bitcoin comes along.
I wish the clip was longer. I really wish I could hear what he said after that. But notice how he says, again, remember the context of this, guys, 2018 when we were in a bear market. He's basically stating all the doom and gloom is happening now. And then years in the future, this is when cryptocurrencies are going to have actual utility and actual value. So he, in fact, is projecting here cryptocurrencies are going to have a use case, are in fact going to be valuable in the future. You put this on a 2022 backdrop, because remember, again, this is from 2018. The FTX scandal and the current crypto climate that we're in means that maybe MIT and whoever else decided to delete this course wants to hide the fact that the cryptocurrencies with utility are going to be the ones that are going to be most valuable in the future. At this point, I don't put anything past anybody. Anything they can do to keep us poor, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.